Good evening, guys. I've got discussion B for you tonight for discussion. It's about end of life care and about everybody's feelings and the way that society looks upon it. So, let's get going on the presentation I made for you. Understanding end of life care. The surrounding page presents dying not as a sudden, frightening uh, rupture, but as a gradual, natural transition. Hospice experts like Dr. Sarah Holmes, Marie Curie, UK, described it as a recognizable sequence of physical and cognitive changes that unfold over hours or days. The emphasis is on reassurance. These, change, these changes are expected, usually not painful, and can be met with comfort focused care that preserves dignity. Early signs the body conserving energy, increasing sleep and fatigue. As the body begins to shut down, energy is redirected to essential functions. People spend more time asleep, often drifting in and out of consciousness awareness. Declining appetite and thirst. The digestive system slows, and the body no longer signals hunger or thirst. Families are encouraged not to force food or fluids since intake is no longer necessary and can cause discomfort. Reduced elimination with less fluid intake and kidney function winding down, urine output decreases, bowel movements may stop altogether. Circulatory changes, blood flow shifts toward vital organs, hands, feet, and sometimes the nose or ears may feel cool, and skin can appear uh, mottled or pale. These early changes are often the first clues for loved ones that the body is moving from sustaining life toward prioritizing comfort. Middle phase changes, mid and mind and breath. Cognitive shifts, confusion, withdrawal, or restlessness may appear. Some experience terminal aggression, which hospice terms or teams manage with gentle reassurance or medication. Breathing patterns. Breaths may become shallow, irregular, or follow a cycle rhythm, such as Cheyenne strokes. Periods of rapid breathing, followed by pauses. Secretions and the death rattle. As swallowing diminishes, saliva and mucus can accumulate in the throat, producing a rattle sound. Though unsettling for listeners, clinicians stress that it is not painful for the person dying. The changes highlight the body's gradual release of control, and hospice staff often guide families to focus on soothing presence rather than intervention. Late phase changes. The final approach. Briefly rally. Occasionally, a person may experience a short burst of clarity or alertness before slipping back into deeper unconsciousness. Deeper unconsciousness. Reflexes fade. Eyes may remain half open, and responsiveness diminishes as brain activity slows. Final moments. Death is recognized when breathing ceases, the heart stops, and consciousness is irreversibly lost. The page underscores that while the exact timing varies, this arc is familiar to end of life teams who help families witness it with less fear and more acceptance. The page emphasizes reassurance, demystifying death by explaining these signs. The article seeks to reduce stigma and fear, encouraging open dialogue about dying. Comfort-centered care. It stresses that interventions like forcing food or fluids are unnecessary, and that hospice care focuses on easing aggression, dryness, or secretions. Predictable yet personal. Although each person's journey is unique, the broad phrases are consistent enough to help families anticipate what's coming and respond with compassion. Direct explanation. The hours and days before death. People typically sleep more, eat and drink less, produce less urine, and slow circulation changes like cool or mottled skin. Cognition may fluctuate and breathing becomes irregular, sometimes with rattling sounds from pooled secretion. Many then enter deep unconsciousness. Occasionally, after a brief rally, before before breathing and heartbeat stop, the article emphasizes that those changes are natural, usually not painful, and best met with comfort, focused care, and clear, compassionate communication. This framing helps families see dying as see dying not as a medical emergency, but as a natural process, one that can be accompanied with presence, dignity, and love. Okay, so this is the portion of the show where it's open for discussion. Now, I've posted tonight's discussion about different people's feelings on end of life and how they see the process for them, because it's totally different for someone. So, with that being said, the floor is open for live chat. if anybody has any questions about end of life care, now's the time, folks, to ask me. Well, live chat is on. So, let's start the conversation, shall we? Now, remember, the reason why I do the show is to explain to everybody in plain English processes for elderly care and end of life care, which I'm certified in. So, if anybody has anything to add to tonight's discussion, let's go ahead and add those, please.